The night was silent, yet every breeze carried a cry. In the ruins of Damascus, a faint light flickered, a small trembling flame beside a tiny shroud. No one spoke. Only the sound of soft sobs echoed through the cold stones. A small taboot, so small it could be carried in trembling hands, rested before the broken hearts of Zainab Ali and Rubab Ali. Whose taboot was this? Whose short life had ended in the shadow of tyranny? It was the taboot of Sakina, the beloved daughter of Imam Husayn, the youngest witness to Karbala, whose tears became the voice of every orphan in history. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it so the message of Sakina reaches every soul. In the sacred city of Medina, where every stone carried memories of the Prophet's footsteps, a gentle light once shone in the house of Imam Husayn alayhi s. It was the light of his beloved daughter, Sakina alayhi s, a child so pure her laughter could calm hearts burdened with sorrow. Sakina alayhi s was not an ordinary child. From her earliest years, she was known for her wisdom beyond age, her compassion for the poor, and her attachment to her father. Every evening, she would wait by the door for Imam Husayn alayhi s, running to him the moment she heard his voice. To her, he was not just a father, he was her world. People would say, "When Sakina smiles, it feels like peace has descended upon the house of Husayn." But destiny had chosen her to carry a pain no child should ever bear. As the shadow of tyranny spread across the land, Imam Husayn alayhi s prepared to leave Medina for the plains of Karbala. When the time came, Sakina alayhi s held tightly to her father's robe and whispered, "Baba, will we come back home?" Imam Husayn alayhi s looked at her with tearful eyes and said, "My daughter, wherever truth stands, that will be our home." And so began the journey, from the peaceful alleys of Medina to the scorching desert of Karbala, where the greatest tragedy in human history awaited. The sun rose over the desert of Karbala, burning with the heat of destiny. Tents stood silent, surrounded by the enemy's army, while inside them, hearts trembled with faith and pain. Among those hearts was the smallest one, Sakina a.s., only a few years old, her face pale from thirst, yet her voice steady with innocence. She would go from tent to tent, asking softly, "Is there any water for my little brother, Ali Ashar?" But there was none. Only dry winds answered her. On the day of Ashura, when swords began to strike and the earth turned red, Sakina clung to her father's chest. "Baba," she whispered, "don't go where I can't find you." Imam Husayn a.s. knelt down, his trembling hand brushing her tears away. "My beloved Sakina," he said, "pray for me when you see the prayer mat empty." She nodded, her small hands clutching his cloak, and then she watched him walk away into the battlefield, never to return. Every sound of clashing swords echoed in her ears. Every cry tore at her heart. And when the battlefield fell silent, she ran to the edge of the camp, her voice breaking through the smoke. "Baba, Baba, where are you?" No answer came. Only the wind carried the sound of grief. That night, when the tents were burned and the women and children were taken captive, Sakina a.s. searched the dark plains for her father. Her tiny feet stumbled over ashes and spears until Zainab a.s. lifted her into her arms. "My dear," she whispered, "your father is in the company of the Prophet now." From that moment, Sakina's childhood ended. The little girl who once smiled in Medina now carried the weight of Karbala in her small heart. The caravan of captives entered Damascus, tired, wounded, and heartbroken. Among them was Sakina, her tiny feet bruised, her lips dry from thirst. In Yazid's court, when she saw her father's severed head, her cry pierced the silence. "That is my Baba! Who has done this to him?" The cruelty of the world had fallen upon the most innocent soul. Later, in the cold, dark prison of Shaam Sakina alayhi salam would wake at night calling for her father. One night, she smiled softly and whispered, "I saw Baba in my dream. He's calling me." Moments later, she lay still. Her pure soul had flown to her father. The prison grew silent as Zainab and Rubab alayhi salam wept beside the little body. Her taboot was so small it could be carried in trembling hands. There was no call to prayer, no crowd, only broken hearts burying a child who had already seen the depths of grief. Even the guards wept as the women of Ali Bayt prayed, "O Allah, this is the youngest martyr of Karbala. Accept her sacrifice." Her resting place became a secret corner of sorrow where patience and pain met in silence. Centuries have passed since that night in Damascus. Yet, the story of Sakina, A.S., still echoes in every heart that knows love, loss, and faith. Her small taboot became more than a symbol of tragedy. It became a reminder of resilience. In her silence, we hear the message of Karbala, that even the most innocent soul can stand as a witness to truth. Her tears spoke what words could not, that injustice may wound the body, but it can never touch the soul of those who stand with Allah. Every year, when believers gather to remember her, they see not just a child, but a light that continues to guide us through the darkness of our own sorrows. When we think of her in the ruins of Shaam, we remember that patience is not weakness. It is the greatest form of strength. And so, as you listen to this story, pause for a moment. Close your eyes and imagine that small taboot, resting in the stillness of night, guarded by the prayers of Zainab, A.S., and the tears of her mother Rubab, A.S. That taboot is not just a memory. It is a heartbeat of Karbala, still alive within us. May peace be upon Sakina bint al-Husayn, A.S., the child whose pain became a message for all time. May her patience inspire us, her faith guide us, and her memory soften every hardened heart.